Okay, good morning everyone. Please let me know where you're joining me from. That would be a very good time. Now is the time to do such. How are you doing today? Where exactly are you joining from? I would like to know. Where are you joining me from? I would like to know. What region are you joining me from? Please, if you can put it in the comment section, that would be great. Where are you joining me from? Are you joining from Nigeria? Are you joining from what part of the world are you joining me from? Wendy, thank you for joining me. We have about 1 minute more to start. Please, can you indicate where you're joining from? I would really appreciate it. But once again, thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be present and for you to be with me this morning. I want to say thank you, a very huge thank you to you. If you don't mind, help me, please put this on your comment section, on your on your WhatsApp. Invite other people to come in. Let us see what we can do with this. If you don't mind, that will be very, very helpful. Please, again, please let me know where you're joining from. This will be really, really helpful. Where are you joining me from? This would really, really be helpful. Thank you. Tofat, thank you for joining me. I'm inviting as many people as possible. Let's get this over with. So, if you wouldn't mind, let me know where you're joining me from, please. Again, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone. We are going to start. If you cannot beat them, you can join them. If you cannot beat them, can you avoid them? If you cannot beat them, can you do without them? What they know, is it going to disturb you or is it going to make your life easier? Can you actually avoid them? Do you have what it takes to do things by yourself? Anesthesia, please, of the thank you anyway. Mary, thank you for joining me. If you cannot beat them, can you join them? That's the question I'm asking us this morning. Please let me know where you're joining me from. Data is everything now. Nobody should get it twisted. Anything you're doing that you're not keeping data record, you might probably not be doing very, very well for yourself. Where are you joining me from? Fola Shade Aliu, thank you for joining me. Hope Bridget, thank you for joining. If you cannot beat them, can you join them? If you cannot beat them, can you avoid them? You know? From Nigeria, Lagos, Hope Bridge Social Impact Foundation. Wow, it's an honor. Thank you so much for joining this. I really appreciate your presence. Trust me, words cannot qualify how much I appreciate the individuals who join me on. Look, social media is a fun place depending on what you are looking for. So for the type of discussions that I have, when I see people join, it humbles me sincerely, because what we do here is very cerebral, you know what I mean? And I just want to thank you for joining. Thank you so much. So Ibrahim, thank you for joining. I'm not going to keep calling names so that I don't waste time. Let's get right to it. Please, I hope that sound is not disturbing us too much. If you cannot beat them, can you join them? Oh man, oh I'm grateful, man. I will do exactly the same as soon as I finish this session. I will do exactly the same. If you cannot beat them, can you join them? First of all, have you had any experience that has pushed you to a point? I want to thank Tony. I know you're on transit and you're traveling to Chicago right now. Sorry, is it Chicago? But you still have to join online on your phone and listen to me as I drive. It's a privilege, and I'm very grateful. Thank you, sir. I don't know if you've joined yet, but I know you just chatted with me now. Look, I've come close to situations that almost made me to, I almost wanted to give up, because it's a long time. Well, oh, it's been a long time watching. Thank you. Okay, so what does it even mean when they say if you cannot beat them, you can join them? What does it mean? What does it even mean? If you cannot beat them, you can. If you can't beat them, is it beating them at their game, or beating them at their expertise, or beating them at the foundation of what they do, especially in business? What is it, or what is it going to be for you? If you can't beat them, can you join them? It's an argument. Maybe you cannot beat the strategy that they have, or the way they adapt to the reality that they have. Maybe that's what you cannot beat. It's really going to take a long time to decide. If you cannot beat them, can you join them? You don't have a job. You went to school. You came out, good grade, 2.2, 2.1, whatever. You don't have a job. Then someone shows up and tells you that, hey, look, all it takes is to do this, that. And you know it doesn't really follow your ethics. How much pressure will you be able to endure before you crack and just join them? You know, if the system is corrupt, can you fight alone? And I keep saying, if you can't beat them, you shouldn't join them. You shouldn't join who? Who is going to pay your bills if you don't join them? These are the realities that we have in front of us. And I don't want to have this discussion by myself alone. You need to understand that. I want you to participate as much as you can, and that is what it is. One of the questions I also ask is that if you cannot beat them, you can resist them. Can you resist them? It is easier said than done. If you can't beat them, can you resist them? Again, it is very easy to just mention it, but how about the reality on ground? Integrity matters. We've talked about this all the time. I teach leadership and ethics at Western Covenant University. I have MBA students that I'm talking about leadership, and they are wondering that, and I'm telling them that, look, this is not my opinion. I am telling you what book says. People who are smarter than you and I, the things they have experienced and how far they have gone with life, to come to a conclusion that it's not every situation that you will be able to fight. And these are very, very controversial and argumentative conversations. And that's why we have to tread this very carefully. And I'm asking you, to what point will you be able to join them if you cannot beat them? Or will you able to adapt? What is the long-term consequence, or what are the long-term consequences of joining them if you really don't know what it is? Can you start that change by yourself alone? And that is one thing that I want us to do today. So the first truth that I really want to establish is that most people don't join because it is a wise thing. They join because it is easier. Why should I get the whole job done when I know, oh no, my God, thank you, I see you. You just, hi, how have you been? Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Really, I do. Thank you. You don't join them because it's easier. You don't join them rather because you think it's a wise opinion. You join them because it is easier. Nobody wants to do the legwork anymore. Nobody wants to actually take time to build from the scratch. And that's one of the syndrome and challenges that we have in this current time that we have. And I think it's one of the nature of end time, to be honest with you. Look, I'm not saying this carelessly. Why should I start from the scratch when I can leap on an already existing platform to survive? So I will join them. it will short circuit my learning process, but I don't mind. I will rather start from this level so that I can achieve success on time, so that I can climb the ladder on time. That's exactly, and I think it's a type of challenge on its own. That's one of the truths that is controversial, but I really want to establish it. People join because it is easier. People join not because it is wise, but because it is easier. Debating business ethics. Do you fight or join? Share your thoughts. If you are, we're talking about starting a business. Someone who have been in the game for the past 10 years. How do you compete with people like that? Is it wise to join them? What are you joining? Why can't you even do it in the first place? These are questions you need to be able to answer so that you can appropriately appropriate your decision making into making a decision about what you want to do. Basically, joining them, is it going to solve your problem just for now, or it's a permanent solution that it's going to bring to you, or it's going to create a bigger problem for you? You see what I'm saying? So if you cannot beat them, can you join them? For how long? The solution you are looking for, even though you know this is not going to last, do you just want it instantly and you want it just now? Will you be able to withstand the challenges that will come from that decision that you are making now? That's the next point that I really wanted to establish. And if you have anything to say, for the love of God, honestly, I'm going to pause and I will listen to you. Whether you're writing, okay, I have a comment here that says, honesty, oh, Egmo, thanks. Honesty is good, but it's good to join the existing protocol. So far, it is not illegal. Mr. Tony is on transit right now to Chicago, right? He said that it is good to join the existing protocol. So far, it is not illegal. And I get that perspective. The journey is easier. Why do we need mentors? Why do we need people who have gone ahead of us? In fact, I am of the opinion that in order for you to reduce your error rate by 50% is by following someone who has gone through what you are just starting to go through right now. If someone comes into the United States today as an international student, the best person you should be talking to is someone who came in as a student and has actually survived, has achieved success. I did that. There was a man I met in, there's a place we call Costco here, Prakash. His name is Prakash. As at the time I came in, he came into the United States 16 years earlier. One thing led to another thing, and we started talking in the parking lot, and he told me he was a student. The moment he mentioned that he came as a student, I took his number, I visited his house. He was living my life. He already, I would say he has made it, but he has set all the troubles that international students are likely to have. I am not trying to beat him at his game. Some people have just gone ahead of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So when they confer to you what you need to do, by wisdom, prayerfully consider those opinions, especially if you are not breaking any law and it's not illegal and there are things that doesn't work against your ethics. Why not? Joining might solve your problem today, but in the process of making that decision, you need to also remember to consider the other things ahead of time. There are decisions that are good in the moment, but this decision that you make today, is it still going to be good in the next 5 years? And that's why in terms of marriage, they will say you marry for the future. You don't marry for now. You know what I mean? But that's not why we are here today. If you can't beat them, can you avoid them? Do you have what it takes to avoid them if you cannot beat them? People who are already up at the game that you are still trying. You are still trying so hard to find your level. Will you be able to avoid the wisdom that is coming from them? Would you be able to avoid the experience that they have? They already gained mileage before you because they started before you. I can't remember the name of the preacher. Niye Boda, Pastor Niye Boda, God bless him. He came to the city of Port Harcourt maybe like 10 or 12 years ago, and he said that no matter how early you started, you're trying to make a trip, for example, let's say you are leaving Lagos to Abuja, and he said no matter how early you leave the house, some people have just gone ahead of you. As soon as you hit the express road, there is a car in front of you. If you like, come out at 1 in the morning. If you like, come out at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you like, come out at 6 in the morning. No matter how early you start, some people have just gone ahead of you. Is it appropriate to seek counsel from people like that? Are you going to redefine that as beating or joining them? It's relative depending on what you are looking for, right? So you don't just rise by joining a dysfunctioning society. You will just blend in, and that has its own crisis basically. So going straight to the solution that I came, and I got this information from a book I was reading, and the guy was talking about a man that started a business, and the business was not thriving, and he decided to seek collaboration with an existing business. So I know people that I talk to as far as social media is concerned, people who have 500,000 followers, people who have 1 million views. I know people, their live session, they have 5,000 people watching them at a time. I've never had 1,000 before. I've had 700 before, and I was on top of the world. I was feeling fly. But there are people who have consistently held 5,000 people. If I really want to have such engagement, I need to learn from people who are doing that right now. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to business and other perspectives of your life, what solution can you give that statement? If you cannot beat them, you should join them. Do you even know what you are joining? So you need to have, or you need to balance and conclude in your heart already. Know what you will never compromise. In this crazy world that you are living right now, that it looks like you have to know someone before you'll be able to do much with your life. In this world that man knows man, if you don't have the effect of man in whatever decision you are making right now, it looks like you won't be able to do much, especially for those that wants to do the right thing, because doing the right thing is very expensive right now. So you should know the things you will never be able to compromise, even in the process of, if you can't beat them, can you take counsel from them? There are counsels that are very, 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 they sound good, but they are not godly. Good counsel, but not godly counsel. They sound great. They sound like they are really nice. But that's not what the scripture says. That's not what God wants you to do. How do you filter through such decision? So know what you will never compromise on. Define your non-negotiables even before you start having any type of collaboration or any type of connection or some type of referral, or before you just give yourself up to the counsel of another person. Know your non-negotiables. I worked with a boss some time ago when I was in the city of Port Harcourt. Every time we wanted to have a meeting, he would ask me to come to the club. It has to be at the club. Now, don't get me wrong. I know business deals are discussed at different places. Some people go to the golf club. Some people have meetings in their offices. Some people just have one decent evening somewhere where they talk. But this individual that I'm talking about, it is always a club, and I don't want to go to the club. I'm sorry for those who go to the club. I have no problem with you doing that. But at that time that I was telling you, it was not good for my life. It wasn't good for my health. And he didn't understand why I couldn't do it. And these are not just ordinary clubs. If you have lived in Port Harcourt before, man, these are clubs that they are special clubs. You know what I mean? And I was not going to do it. I'll tell him that, look, I'll come to your hotel in the morning, or we can meet at NDDC in the morning, or we can... So many challenging situations. I paid dearly for these decisions that I'm telling you, but I did it regardless. I had to pay for it. Sometimes he's not going to pay me well. Sometimes when I go there in the morning to talk to him, he's not answering the phone because he's still sleeping. He doesn't wake up until 1 p.m. and I've been waiting since 8 o'clock. You know, but I was glad to pay that price than to go to a club where, because when you are seated now, discussion doesn't start until you do what they do. And this is not me being holier than thou. And I'm not apologizing. I'm just saying that your non-negotiables, you had to add your value system to it also. I don't want to go to the club and discuss business with, especially as my boss. It's not as if he's a stranger, or if I have a say, I know exactly how to go about it. You know what I mean? The point I'm making is, You need to have your non-negotiables, what you will never compromise on, your integrity, your discipline, your values. These are the things I'm talking about. If you don't define it, pressure will help you decide. Pressure will help you decide before now. In one of my videos, I said it that make up your mind on how strong you want to be before life happens to you. There are things you will surprise yourself if you are not careful. So you need to start training your mind, train your spirit ahead of challenges that will come. And that is very, very important in your life, in marriage, in business, in leadership. There are things you will never see coming. For my non-Yoruba speaking individuals, your preparation before the days of challenges is what will hold you. It can shift you, it can make you, but you need to have something that you stand on, or else if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And that's not what this is about. I'm hoping that you'll be able to understand that before you join them, if your choice is to join them, know what you will never compromise on. Because I also, let me be real with you, there are days or there are times you will really not have a choice. And I've been in such situation. But you should have the minimum acceptable balance that I can't go below this one. Thank you for coming. I appreciate the offer, but you know what? This is as far as I can go. I will never be able to go less than this. And I think it's very important we do that. Or else, there'll be chaos in every decision that we are making. Know what you will never compromise on. Because life is very funny. You might not need it now, but one day you will need that contact. And that contact, you know that on a normal day, you really don't want to have anything to do with such individuals. But they hold the keys. They hold the keys to what you are struggling to get. Pastor Chris Oyakilome, over 20 years ago, says the things you are struggling to get, there are people who are giving it out for free. So what investment of time do you have to put into a relationship that can deliver free stuff that you have been begging, praying, trusting God for? Know what you will not compromise on in 3 dimensions: in your integrity, in your values, and in your discipline. Or else, pressure will make a decision for you. You have a wife at home, you have 3 children at home, then somebody is telling you online that if you cannot beat them, you should avoid them. Avoid what? Who is going to feed my children? How do I pay my bills? How do I do this? How do I do that? You will have 1,000 reasons to understand and acknowledge, and you will explain yourself through that wrong decision. You said I should avoid them. How do I pay my bills? Bills are tough, man. You see what I'm talking about? So I think this is very, very important, and I think we really have to take this seriously. The second thing, in my opinion, is that if you cannot beat them and you want to join them, because that's my focus basically today. I have seen situations in my life that I did join. Let me not put it that way. I didn't join. I went in with my own values. I went in with my own non-negotiables. And they know. And that's why you have to stand for something. Don't be offended when you come across situations where people want you to abandon what you know, abandon your values, and join them. So you have to be convinced. And one more thing that I really think would help, you should have a story of how God has helped you before. We call it testimony in our world. As a believer, you need to have a recollection of how God has helped you before. Maybe you used man, maybe you used circumstances, so that you will know you are not alone. If you have never enjoyed favor before, or if God has not really come through for you before, you don't have a recollection, you are likely to you think you are playing smart, but you're actually being led by God to make some decisions. And you will play smart without selling your soul. There are decisions that I've made and I wasn't praying, but my spirit and my thought processes have been so aligned with God that it ends up becoming the right decision at the end of the day. You need to have that kind of relationship so that even when you go into joining them, you are going with your values, you are not selling your soul, and you are playing smart. And play smart means that you must have learned the system yourself. The system makes sense to you because you understand the in and out. Nobody can bamboozle you about what is going on as far as this one is concerned. For example, if you're a contractor, getting a business opportunity or getting the contract, you cannot be naive. You cannot be a novice and just jump into a system that you don't know. Oh, there are so many ways they will convince you or confuse you so that you, oh God of heaven, an example came to my mind, but I can't use it. But the point I'm making is that you need to know your craft. You cannot be a stranger in your line. You need to know your craft. You need to have a skill that you have built over time. You need to have competence that you have built by reason of use, by reason of different experiences that you've had before now. So when you go to join them, the reason you're joining is because they started before you. Remember, we established that. Ayo, thank you. Definitely, sir. I agree with you too. The reason you are joining them is because they've gained mileage. They started 30 years ago. You just started 2 years ago. Definitely, there are things that they will know that you don't know. And I understand that. And that's why I always tell people to study. You need to read. Let's not underestimate the values that you can get from reading books. So many examples, the things that you are confused about. You pick up a book and the solution is right there. You'll be shocked. People who have gone through life for 45 years in business and they give you tips, something you can get in one page. An experience of a man that have lived 10 years in a particular mistakes and he came out of it and he put his thoughts down in a book. So build your skill before you join them, because I am aware that there are circumstances that might push you to go and join them. Join without compromising. Position yourself strategically. Position yourself with wisdom. They also know they cannot mess with you. They know because they know you know. You see what I'm saying? Couple of live sessions ago, I said corrupt people know that you are not corrupt. Corrupt people will recommend you for people that are corrupt. Corrupt people, maybe they steal public funds or they are just corrupt. They don't do things by the book. When they need someone who is disciplined, when they need someone who is on time, when they need someone who is prudent, when they need someone who is frugal, when they need someone who is accountable, they know who to call. They know who exactly is going to get the job done. That's one funny thing about this life. They can't do it, but they know who can, and that's your time to shine. You come in with your own details. You come in with your non-negotiables. This is what you are going to do, and this is what I want from you. Someone recommended me for a job when I was still back in Port Harcourt, and he said, they tell me, say, you know the thief money. I said, yes, your money is safe with me and all of that. I said, but this is my terms. I'm going to take this as salary. For every project that comes out, this is what I want. If you can, or if you are able to do that, then we should be able to kick off these operations. Even though he renegated from it, there was all kinds of drama, but it is very good to have a testimony that people can say, you can still come in with your values. Oh my God, I just remember a guy, Mr. Ike Osa, the MC for Big Brother Nigeria, is a pastor in House on the Rock. And I saw one of the interviews that he said, some believers, they don't want to go into the marketplace. They don't want to go into the world. They left it because it's too corrupt. How do you change the world? When you, as a believer, when you, as someone who is mentally okay, who has things to offer, you are avoiding some specific places. How do you change the world? You go in with your values. That's the point that the guy was saying. That, yeah, big brother, there is nothing you ask me to do that I will not do, but I will do it on my terms. And I think that is very, very important. If you don't have to join them, maybe you can outgrow them after getting counsels, the one that are compatible with your model. And I hope that makes sense to you. Another reason people would like to join is because they cannot delay gratification. People want to make it now. People want to be successful now. I love the way, I can't remember his name, Pastor Olumide Emmanuel, he would say it takes time to grow wealth. To grow wealth takes time. To be successful takes time. All these hybrid, half-bred, and everybody just want to buy a house, build a, buy a car, travel for summer, have millions of dollars, or have a house in Ikoyi and do all of that. Those things take time. Building wealth also takes time. And he has made so many comments about that young people need to learn how to delay gratification so that you don't make wrong choices. One of the reasons people will join what they cannot beat without any counsel is because they cannot afford, they just want to belong so that they can get it now. They can get it immediately, and they want it as soon and as fast as possible. So, having said that, so the environment you find yourself right now will either pressurize you to join them, or you can go in with your own values that will protect you. Oh, I've had so many offers about things that I really don't want to do, but I am knowledgeable enough and I understand that the timing of God is more important than the situation that I'm going through right now. I give the credit to Dr. Lumide Emmanuel, who says life is lived forward but understood backward. Why have you not gotten a job in the last 5 years? When you are going through it, you won't be able to tell. But now you've got a beautiful job. Eventually, you can flash back to 5 years ago that, now I see why I didn't get a job. There is a learning process that I have to follow. So life is lived forward but understood backward, because you will use those experiences to actually sort yourself out in the future. Some ministries are born out of personal experiences sometimes. If you cannot beat them and you want to join them delaying gratification. Don't go in because you want to take it now. Don't go in because you want to get it now. Go in for knowledge. Go in for the experience that you are looking for. Go in to build your own lane, because you cannot depend on that system for a long time. Go in to build your own lane. I keep insisting that there will be moments where you may have to join them. I'm not going to mention them, but there is someone in our political arena right now who is criticizing everybody. This one is corrupt, this one is bad, this one is bad. But you need a vehicle to get you to the palace. And that means it's one of these things that you have to use. You need to join a cargo that is going up there. So you cannot criticize this one, criticize that one. What I would do is to join the one that I think is manageable and reasonable enough and has the technical know-how to get to my destination. Because you cannot, my pastor will say, Christians would train their children as if they are only going to be dealing with Christians for the rest of their lives. That believers would treat their children as though they are only going to be dealing with Christians. There are people out there, unbelievers. There are people of other religion. There are people who are atheists. There are people who don't even believe in anything. There are people who just want to live their life anyhow. There are people who are moralists. There are people who are mentalists. There are people, and you just sit in your corner, act as if the person you are growing with is just going to be dealing with Christians. There are sharks at business places. Sharks. They will eat you, eat your money, eat you up. How do you have the knowledge to deal with systems like that? That is why you have to go with your own non-negotiables. And that is why you have to think about building your own lane as time goes on. And I think this is very, very important. So we cannot continue to compete with a broken system. We need to start creating alternatives. And I think this is very, very important. We need to start creating alternatives. Otherwise, honestly, I don't think there is much we will be able to do. If the table is corrupt, what would you do? You build your own table. If your table is corrupt, you build your own table. That right there is something that I think everybody needs to remember. If your table is corrupt, or if the table that is available to you is corrupt, then you need to learn how to build your own table. And I think this is very, very critical. I think this is very, very important to what we do right now. If the table is corrupt, build your own table. And if you cannot build your own table, how do you think this is going to work out for you? How do you really think this is going to work out? Please, give me 1 second. Let me go through the comment section to see if there is anything I'm missing. I apologize, all right? Let me just quickly check this through and through. If you cannot beat them, can you avoid them? Do you have what it takes to avoid them? If you cannot beat them, everything is discipline. If you don't have it, forget it. That's from Mr. Tony. He said everything is discipline. If you don't have it, forget about it. Because it is very easy for you to move. You will be surprised. You will shock yourself. There was someone, one of our leaders, who was an NLC chairman. He was up and doing, running up and down, fighting for people's rights and all of that when he was still the Labour Congress leader and all of that. And he was active. A lot happened. If there is fuel scarcity, he fight it. If salaries are not paid on time, he did this, he did that, and it was wonderful until he got to government himself. And he shocked himself. He was meeting himself for the first time. You know what I mean? Because there is a level of affluence and wealth that you will find yourself, if you were not prepared before now, you will compromise. So there is a level of success you will expose yourself to unprepared that will drift you. It will take you to the left-hand side, and you'll be surprised yourself when you have every resource to do what is wrong and nobody is going to stop you. When you have enough money to commit all kinds of atrocities, what is going to stop you then is your integrity, your discipline, your spirit. What have you been standing for? You need to stand for something. If you cannot beat them, you want to avoid them, there is a system you must have created before now. If you want to beat, if you don't want to join them and you want to beat them, how much alternative do you have at your disposal? And I think this is very, very critical. We keep talking about integrity. Nobody should underestimate the power of need. When someone needs something, negotiation becomes something that you need to see in another dimension entirely. I need to do something and I don't have the resource to do it. And I'm seeing all kinds of options in front of me. That's where your integrity is actually called to question. All I can hope for and I can pray for is that may we not find ourselves in a situation where our loyalty will be tested. And when I say it's in different dimensions, whatever that means to you, but I hope you will not be so stranded. I hope you will not be so broke that you don't have alternatives. And the alternative in front of you, even though you know it is wrong and you are starting to consider it, it's a bad place to be. It is so wrong. You know it's bad. You know it's wrong. You know you are not supposed to do this, but you don't have a choice. And I'm hoping that choices will come. You will have options that you can choose from so that you don't surprise yourself, so that you don't disappoint yourself, so that you don't disappoint God. If you can't beat them, can you join them? You can join them if you have your non-negotiables. Your discipline, your integrity is intact and your values are still right standing. It is possible. Is it possible for you to avoid them? If it's in terms of business, remember, I'm concluding now. If it's in terms of business, remember that you don't have the experience that they have. So you have to go in with knowledge. And that's why I talked about skills. If anybody is going to start a bank today, the good thing to do is to go and look at people, follow the template of those who already started before you. It's like someone who wants to invent another electricity. We don't need it because this one is good enough. You just have to follow the template of people that are ahead of you, the ones that can help you buy time. That's not illegal, and you can still get things done. And I hope this makes sense to you. Again, like I said, you have to practice a level of honesty even before your own challenging times will come, because it will come. Your level of preparation is just what is going to determine how far you are going to be able to withstand the storm and the challenges that will come as a result of the situation that you are going through. If you can't beat them, you really don't have to join them. You can join them with knowledge, join them with understanding, join them with your non-negotiables. I'm sorry, I needed a job, but I will not be able to do this. I'm sorry, I need the contract, but there is no way I will not complete my contract. I need the contract, but you cannot take 70% of it. We are going to give it to someone else. And I hope you will have the power to say, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. Go. It's okay. I'll get another one. It's easier said than done, but these things take practice. Remember the video I did recently? I was talking about negotiation, that the most dangerous person on the negotiation table is that individual that is willing to walk away without a deal. Will you be able to walk away without a deal? When they tell you what you need to do and you know this is against what you stand for, I hope you will be able to walk away. I hope the challenges, the current situation you are going through will not compel you to change your mind. Because we are talking about integrity right now. You don't have a job, but you need to sleep with the boss before you get the job. I hope you will not be overwhelmed by being broke. You will not be overwhelmed by the fact that you have to go back to that house without a job. I hope you will not be overwhelmed by the fact that every pending bills will not swallow you in that moment to change your mind. I hope you will remember that integrity still matters. What if you did it? How do you secure that job? Because there is need for renewal. There is need for subscription. You have just subscribed to something you would never be able to achieve, or you will never be able to catch up with. What does that say about your integrity? What does that say about your values? What do you want to say in the board meeting? What exactly are you going to be able to, how do you make a change in that environment when they know how you got there? When they know what you did and how you compromised to get to where you're going to? That is the crux of the matter for me, and I hope this makes sense to you. Look, I want to thank you once again for joining me. I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate everyone. Even if it is just one person that I have online, I don't see numbers. I see people. I see people, and this means a lot to me. I want to say thank you for joining me. I've summarized the session, and I really just want to say thank you. We'll do this again next week. My friends on Facebook, Honor, I really appreciate this sincerely. Mr. Tony, all the people, Sheyi, Ayo, all the people that I'm seeing that I'm unable to count, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you. My guys on YouTube, TikTok, and all of that, thank you. I'll see you next week. And I hope you have a wonderful morning. If you're in California, if you're in Nigeria, or any part of the world you are from, maybe you're just about to go to bed, I hope you have a very pleasant evening also. We'll do this again next week. I'll see you around. Take care. Hey, one more thing. Please follow me, join, subscribe to my channel. We are building incredible, we are curating a lot of amazing and fantastic materials here. It's all about leadership. It's all about ethics, business ethics. It is also about child development. It's about making our society better. It's about making things just better. They are beautiful materials that I think you're really going to like. Let's push a different narrative out there so that we can change the world together. And I hope you can help me do this. The people on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. I have incredible videos that we cannot put on YouTube, on other channels, because they are a bit longer, because of the problem of brevity that we have now in our world. Any video that is more than 30 seconds, so, but take your time to just check our materials, and I hope this is going to help you out. I hope you have a wonderful time. I'll see you around. Take care.